Did you know that some of the most powerful, effective skincare doesn't come in the form of a lotion or potion? Sometimes it comes in the form of an oil. And some of these oils that do all of this magical things for our skin have been around for thousands of years. They're holistic, sustainable, cruelty-free, and oftentimes way less expensive than luxury skincare designed to give you those anti-aging benefits, but that can cost you a pretty penny. Over this past month, I've done deep dives on all three of these, and I'm putting them together today in a compilation video so you can learn about these oils yourself and what they might be able to do in your skincare routine and for your skin. For instance, just a few drops of this oil, castor oil, can regrow eyebrows and eyelashes and even hair on the top of your head. But its benefits don't stop there. So I encourage you to keep watching. I will put chapters in this video so you can skip around at your leisure, discovering for yourself which one of these might be the perfect fit for you. Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about castor oil. And while I've done some videos on this particular oil in the past, this is a little bit of a different type of video because we're going to talk about the science behind castor oil and why it actually works so well for skin, the kind of benefits you can expect from it, and then I will also be demonstrating how to use it and where to use it, all in today's video. But if you happen to be new to my channel and not familiar with who I am, I'm Chris Gibson, a skincare expert. I've been in skincare for 38 years, helping folks find skincare that will work for them, not into their wallet, and not do them more harm than good. So if that's the kind of content you've been looking for here on YouTube, I hope you'll stick around and subscribe. All right, so castor oil, which I have here in this dark bottle, has been around for many, many years. It's had many, many uses. It used to actually be a laxative, not recommended for that use much anymore because taken internally, it is very strong and a very aggressive laxative. There are other alternatives that work much better. But when it comes to skin care, castor oil is a staple. And in fact, it's in many commercial products, especially for hair care and moisturization type of products because of the type of benefits that this oil can give you. But let's talk about the science first. And when it comes to that science, there are 3 fatty acids that are naturally occurring in castor oil that make it so wonderful and beneficial for your skin. Ricinoleic acid being one of them because it has anti-inflammatory and antimicrobial properties, meaning it combats bacteria on the skin and it can reduce swelling. It also has oleic acid, something that you will find in many skincare products because of its ability to penetrate the skin and take moisture down into the upper layers of the skin with it, and linoleic acid, which helps build up your skin's outer barrier. So a very protective oil, but it's also a very thick or high viscosity oil and somewhat sticky. So in most products, it's fractionated or broken apart into its components. But again, when looking at the science and the properties of castor oil, it's not just those fatty acids, but it also contains a healthy amount of vitamin E, which is great at helping to prevent damage from free radicals. Palmitic acid, which helps to soften the outer layers of the skin, helping to remove those old dead skin cells that are stuck to the surface of the skin. And stearic acid, which actually sinks down into that upper layer and pores and helps to remove impurities, all while reinforcing your skin's natural protective barrier. I first came across castor oil when I was treating my own cystic acne in my late teens and early 20s. It was very, very helpful. We also applied it as a warm compress to my mom's leg when she broke it to help reduce swelling, and it worked extremely well. So it's actually great at reducing puffiness around the eyes or wherever you have stopped up lymphatic drainage. And with regular use, it helps improve your skin's texture. These properties also give it benefits when it comes to hair growth, like eyelashes, eyebrows, and even scalp hair. I always recommend you get certified organic castor oil. That means naturally sourced. It comes in a dark bottle to protect those properties that are so beneficial. And the other great thing about castor oil is it's actually really inexpensive. Now, at the beginning of this video, I said I was going to demonstrate how to use it and where to use it. So I'm going to ask you to keep on watching as we go through the demonstration process of how to use castor oil appropriately and what kind of benefits you can expect and when. Is there really anti-aging magic in this little bottle? Does castor oil really reduce the signs of aging on the skin and actually help your skin be healthier? Well, I've got answers for you in today's video. All right, so let's talk about the truth of how castor oil works and how it could be of help to your skin. And one of the hallmarks of aging skin is constant inflammation. Inflammation in your skin is responsible for a lot of things
that tend to go awry. In particular, broken blood vessels, spider veins, purple-brown spots, large-looking pores, and even excessively oily or dry skin. One of the great things about castor oil, since it's all natural, is that it helps reduce inflammation. And it's so good at reducing inflammation, it might be a surprise, or not a surprise, that it works very well when applied to things like a sore joint or even a sprain. Castor oil, when warmed and applied to the skin, can be extremely helpful even for arthritis. Castor oil is also packed with a lot of fatty acids that your skin needs and can use in the healing process, and also in helping to improve collagen and elastin fibers in your skin, actually boosting collagen production, along with antioxidants to help protect your skin, and many of the proteins that your skin actually does need to build that collagen back. Those same fatty acids that we just talked about also help alleviate fine lines and wrinkles, and more importantly, help fade age spots. And it's perfectly safe to use around and under your eyes, especially for those under eye wrinkles so many people complain about. It can really be a big help there. And you can even apply it at night as a slugging solution to cap off your other products that you've already applied to your skin to help them be absorbed and work better. So there are a lot of science-backed things that castor oil can do for your skin. Not to mention, it can actually help you in growing your eyelashes and eyebrows. However, this oil does need to be treated as any essential oil would be treated. You need to test it first, a patch test on the inner elbow, to make sure you don't have any sensitivity or irritation. And it only takes a small amount to do the work. Now, I've also put together a whole demonstration on how to use castor oil properly on your skin. That's coming up right now. So be sure to keep watching so you see how to do all of this, and then we'll circle back around at the end of this video.
So let's jump right into what it can do specifically, and then I'm going to demonstrate how to apply it to your skin, and more importantly, how to remove it, because as I said, it is a very thick, sticky oil. And while it does provide all these health benefits, there's a trick to getting it off your skin. So let's start with what type of castor oil you should be looking for. For me, it is a certified organic castor oil contained in a very dark bottle, so it protects the strength and efficacy of the oil. All right, so anti-aging, what can it actually do for fine lines and wrinkles in the texture of the skin? Well, castor oil, when massaged into the skin, actually helps promote and encourage collagen production. It is deeply moisturizing and helps with dryness, flakiness, and also is able to pull moisture from the air, much like what we see with polyglutamic acid and hyaluronic acid. It's able to do that, but in a holistic, natural way, which means it keeps your skin deeply hydrated and plump, preventing transepidermal water loss. Castor oil is also packed with fatty acids, which, as we know, are super beneficial for the lipid layer of your skin, also helping with the area around the mouth. You can even apply it to chapped, dry lips several times a day. You can mix it with glycerin if you want to water it down a little bit for a little extra lip plump. And even though I did say it has laxative properties, that's not going to be enough castor oil to do that. The fatty acids also help speed up cellular reproduction, meaning that newer skin comes to the surface faster. It even can help soothe sunburns, and it is a master at improving the thickness and length of eyelashes and eyebrows. So let's talk about how to apply castor oil. The best way to use it in an anti-aging skincare routine is a capping mechanism at night, known loosely as slugging. After you've applied all your other products, you apply a thin layer of castor oil to help trap that moisture and help your other skincare products work better. All right, so let's apply this castor oil. It doesn't take much, which is the same as with all skincare products, really. Just about that much. About half a dropper full, massage it into the fingers, and then we're going to just pat it over the skin. Now, I like to do this into my eyebrows. We don't require a brush, just massaging it in. And this is good, guys, for beard and mustache growth and keeping that hair soft. And that's really all there is to it. And then if you're having trouble with short, thinning, hard to grow lashes, taking a brush like this one, this is an eyelash brush, or cleaning out an old mascara brush and applying just a little bit of castor oil to each lash is really, really amazing. And of course, you want to be very careful and not get the oil into your eye. So let's do that. We're going to put a little drop on my finger here. We're going to coat the brush. All right. And then we're just going to close the eye tight and brush the eyelashes with this oil. Right There. Doesn't take much, can work wonders for lashes and brows. Again, guys, beard growth, really a super great oil to use overnight. You don't want to use this oil during the day because it is very sticky, very shiny, and it's going to make your skin and or your beard look really oily and shiny, and cosmetics do not work well on top of this oil. So it's not a great oil to moisturize your skin with during the day, but as an overnight treatment, it just cannot be beat. Castor oil, completely organic, fairly inexpensive. Bottles run anywhere from $7 up to $30, depending on how much of this stuff you need to buy. I personally like to buy and keep on hand the smaller amounts of this oil because after 6 months, it does start to degrade and is not as effective. The castor oil that I like to use is Kate Blanc Cosmetics. I'll put a link down below in the video description box so you guys can check that out. But let's talk about how to get this oil off because again, it is very, very sticky. So the two easiest ways to remove this oil are to use a hot, steamy washcloth and apply it to your face for about half a minute. It helps to dislodge the oil from your pores and helps to dilute it, making it easier to wash off. That single step will usually take enough of the oil off your skin that you can use your face wash and remove the rest of it. Certain skin types, particularly oily skin types, have a more difficult time removing this oil. And in that case, you would take a teaspoon of baking soda and mix it in a cup of warm water and rinse your face with that because the enzymes in the baking soda actually break down the castor oil and will completely remove it from your skin. Super simple, inexpensive way to give your anti-aging skincare routine a boost and having your skin looking dewy, plump, and hydrated after the very first night you try this. Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. As I've always said, not every great ingredient in skincare is a commercial ingredient in a lotion, potion, cream, or what have you. And there are many natural approaches to skincare that actually work very well. One of those using certain essential oils that have been scientifically studied and proven to provide benefits for people of all skin types, colors, and sensitivities. So today we're going to focus on one of those oils because, again, scientifically studied and backed, can give some really great benefits, fairly low in cost, and that is frankincense or frankincense oil. Again, an essential oil. But before we jump in and learn how to use this fabulous oil, if you're new to my channel and not familiar with who I am, I'm Chris Gibson, a skincare expert. I've been helping people with skincare for over 37 years. That's a really long time, which really makes me excited about today's video because this holistic approach, holistic skincare, is how I got my start so many years ago. And if this is the kind of skincare information you've been looking for here on YouTube, I'm glad you found me. I hope you stick around and subscribe. Now, frankincense is made from a resin from a tree, so not procured in the most typical of ways, which makes it a little bit more expensive than the other essential oils we've talked about here on the channel. But again, benefit driven, going to work across skin types and skin conditions, and has some pretty amazing anti-aging, rejuvenating properties. First and foremost, it can really help reduce the look of fine lines and wrinkles. And it does this by promoting cell regeneration and collagen production in the skin because, as we all know, as we get older, we tend to lose a lot of that collagen structure that holds our skin together nice, tight, and elastic. So not only does it improve your skin's elasticity and firmness, it also helps ward off free radical damage. So it's an antioxidant as well. Now, in practice, I've had experience using this with healing wounds and scars, especially acne scars, red marks, and stretch marks. It's really great for stretch marks. And it's anti-inflammatory, which means it's very soothing to skin conditions like sunburns, even eczema and rosacea. And another big plus of frankincense oil is that it also helps manage oil and melanin production in the skin, which means it's going to balance out your skin, help to fade any dark marks or age spots, and prevent them from reoccurring. All of this, a holistic approach in a simple oil that's been around for thousands of years. All right, so let's talk about how to use frankincense on the skin. Now, this is pure frankincense. This is HBNO. I love this brand. Naturally sourced, organic, 100% essential oil. Now, we don't want to put essential oils of any kind directly on the skin without diluting them. I'm going to show you how to do that very simply using either olive oil, almond oil, jojoba oil. Any of those type of oils work very, very well for dilution of essential oils for the skin. Again, this particular oil by HBNO, I will put a link down below in the video description box where you can find this oil for yourself and the carrier oil to dilute it in, all again down below in the video description. And because I know some of you are going to ask this question, yes, you can use coconut oil or avocado oil. Those are fine. Coconut oil, however, can be a little tricky for those of you who are prone to acne breakouts because it can get down in your pores. It can gel up and trap those tiny little dead skin cells, leading to potential infections around the hair follicle. In other words, breakouts. All right, so for today's demonstration, we're going to take a teaspoon of almond oil. That's what this is here. Measured it out. And we're going to make a 3% dilution, which means we're going to take the oil and we're going to put 3 drops into this teaspoon of almond oil. There went 1 already, 2, and 3. And with frankincense, you can actually go up to a 10% dilution, which would be 10 drops. That's about as high of a dilution ratio you want to go to. And if you've never used this oil before, you definitely want to test it on the inner elbow and leave it there for a day and wait 48 hours to make sure you don't have any sort of reaction to the oil. And then it's good to go to be applied wherever. Now, I'm going to apply it to my face, especially the areas where I show aging around the eyes, pretty common, forehead. I'm just gonna pat that in. It does not take very much. In fact, just this amount we mixed up, kept in a dark jar, will get you 15 to 20 applications. I like to use it on the backs of my hands because it is super, super hydrating. It makes your skin look amazing and glowy and helps keep these 61-year-old hands looking great. And just to recap, can be used anywhere on the body where you're showing the signs of aging: chest, neck, backs of the hands like I did, arms, face for sure. Just make sure you do that patch test first. I've often said that some of the very best things for skin when it comes to anti-aging, skin healing, and skin rejuvenation are not necessarily found in a retail store or in a luxury brand. In fact, as a skincare expert of 38 years, I have seen some of the amazing things that all natural ingredients can do for skin. In fact, that's how I even got my start in skincare. Well, today we're going to be talking about an oil that we've not talked about on the channel before. Now, we've talked about frankincense, myrrh, sandalwood, and oils like castor and helichrysum oil, and what those benefits are. They're amazing. But this oil that we're going to talk about today is extremely unique because it offers several benefits for skin that go way beyond anti-aging issues. Things like scar reduction, wound healing, anti-inflammatory properties, deep moisturization, and even skin regeneration. And even though you may not have heard of this oil before, it is a powerful yet inexpensive holistic approach to skincare that I can get behind, and you probably will too after we talk about it in today's video. All right, so the oil I'm talking about is organic Tamanu oil, and it comes from a tree, Canophyllum inophyllum tree, comes from Asia, but we'll just call it the Tamanu tree. And it's also known as the beauty leaf tree. But the oil doesn't come from the leaves of the tree. It actually comes from the fruit or the nuts the tree produces. They're dried out and then the oil is extracted from them. Rich in fatty acids, antioxidants, and anti-inflammatory properties. Now, how does this help your skin or skin issues? Well, if you suffer from skin conditions like psoriasis, eczema, or acne breakouts and have scarring left from these conditions, Tamanu oil actually can help improve the look of these while calming those conditions. It is an extremely powerful wound healing oil with antimicrobial properties, much like tea tree oil, where it's been shown to be effective in antibacterial and antifungal issues like ringworm, athlete's foot, and even acne. When it comes to anti-aging or skin aging issues, Tamanu oil helps improve collagen production and speeds up cell regeneration, helping to improve the look of fine lines and wrinkles, age spots, again, scars, and just improve skin's overall health. And when you look at the science behind Tamanu oil, even though it's been around for a long time and not necessarily well known in the West, it's been shown to be extremely helpful in the formation of new tissue. It's also deeply moisturizing, and again, it has those antioxidant properties that we think of like for vitamin C serums that help protect your skin from free radical damage, oxidation, and damaging effects of sunlight. And if all of that wasn't enough, Tamanu oil has been shown to be extremely helpful in the regrowth of hair because it activates hair follicles, energizing the entire scalp while helping to reduce conditions that can lead to hair loss like fungal infections, bacteria, and blocked pores. All right, now I have a fairly large bottle of Tamanu oil. This is organic, cold press. It's from HBNO. I will put a link down below in the video description box for you to be able to go check this out. And like all holistic oils, a little bit of this will go a long way. And this is an easy, effective treatment that can be used anywhere, as I said, scalp, face. If you're having acne breakouts, it's very helpful. If you're wanting to boost collagen production and improve the surface look of your skin, it's an amazing oil for that as well. So it's able to accomplish a lot of things with just a very little pea-sized drop of this oil. Now I'm going to use a dropper. You can see just a little bit of this oil. I'm going to place it on my fingertips and I'm going to apply it to clean skin and just massage it in. And of course, I've patch tested this oil for myself and I know that it's beneficial and it doesn't cause me any reactions. If you're not used it before, just like every single oil we talk about, any product, ingredient, whatever it is, before you ever put it on your face or anywhere else, always patch test on the inner elbow, rub some of it in, leave it on there for 48 hours and make sure you don't have a reaction. You shouldn't. This is a very mild anti-inflammatory oil. It's very good for skin. It makes a great last step in the skincare routine at night to help hold moisture in while adding these benefits to whatever products you're using. I find it very effective on the backs of my hands and my elbows, areas that tend to be very dry on my skin. So if you're having dry skin issues or you have some keloid scarring you would like to address, this is your go-to oil. And as I said, a link will be down below in the video description box. So if you've been looking for a skincare solution that's not going to cost you a lot of money, a lot of these holistic oils are a great choice. Now, if you found today's compilation video on these oils and how they could be a benefit to you and your skincare routine helpful, if you did, please like the video, share it out, let me know in the comments below. And for even more ways to roll back the clock on skin and body aging, be sure to check out this video I picked out for you next. Thank you for watching today and supporting my work. I really appreciate it. Stay beautiful, subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you over on that next video.